This episode is brought to you by falsetto.
Whoa.
Was that pretty good?
It was falsetto.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know anything about music.
I think it was high. That's what falsetto means, right?
Sure. Stop that. That was too long. Yeah. Good times. Pretty good. Did you try it with the sauce?
No, I ate the chicken as the good Lord intended, dry.
Get the. Oh, you hear that? You hear that farting noise? Yeah.
Why? Why would you do this?
It's okay.
I'm glad you sit over there and not me.
I'll clean it.
Because I'd be having a conniption.
It's such an old man word. Conniption.
It's
No one
like
uses that
it's
anymore.
like aneurysm.
I still use aneurysm because that's like the most terrifying
Oh,
way to die.
okay. Yeah, it is. Completely randomly, and you have no control over it.
I know. Yeah.
I hate it.
All right. Well, now I'm gonna put my arm down there.
That's why it was a bad idea.
Hold on. Let me get a
now
napkin.
you gotta clean it up.
Hold on. I'll get a napkin.
Way to go. This episode brought to you by napkins. They clean things up.
No, we already got the.
This episode brought to you by Poor Choices. You should know better before you make them.
You're very straightforward with yours. Like you don't have an angle. You don't have an angle with yours. You're like, no, I kind of want this to be a real sponsor.
Yeah. The joke is that there's no way you could possibly have a sponsor that's Poor Choices because it's an enigma.
It's actually kind of ironic, really,
Yeah,
because you want to make good choices when it comes to buying products from a podcast.
that's true. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's the level I was going for. Yeah. This episode brought to you by irony.
shit, where's my phone? My phone's over there.
I think it would be ironic if we were made of iron.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nicknames Movies, episode number 16 for the week of August 17, 2019. A lot of teens in there. Oh, that's actually topical.
It
that
is.
actually works.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look
that
at
was
you.
not intended.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. Each and every week, we bring you all the cinema love and keep you informed about what's going on in Hollywood. I'm your host, Nick Naming Movies, and alongside me is my co-host, Zach. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Very serious.
Oh,
How's it going?
that's all right.
So, damn it! What do you mean it's all right?
I mean, it's hot as hell, and
It
we're
is hot.
living in it.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, it's not my fault.
No,
but
no,
sorry.
not just here, just in general.
Yeah, I read a report that July, and I know we're in August, but July
Is a
was
bitch.
Uh,
This just in. July's a bitch.
July's a bitch.
And so is August too, that motherfucker.
We're not even done with that. But July was apparently the hottest month ever since they started making records of temperatures, like over the entire
You
Earth.
should have just stopped at it ever.
Yeah,
It was the hottest month ever. That sells better.
No, sorry.
It's like sex.
I'm not a
And
salesman.
money. And drugs.
And hot planets
Yes.
like Uranus.
Weather sells. Ah, I see what you mean.
You got it.
There's that low-hanging fruit.
It's right around the corner from Uranus. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You didn't answer my question. How? Oh, you kind of did. It's
I said I'm fucking miserable.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. You still have to record the podcast with me.
Oh, yeah. How are you?
I'm just bad at segues. Let's just get this out of the way.
Oh,
I'm
you don't want
bad
to
at
answer my
segues.
question?
I'm fine.
Thank you.
I'm tired because, at the job that actually pays the bills.
Yes, you're slaving away at the soul mill.
I've been awake since 3 a.m.
Mining souls
Yeah,
since 3 a.m.
since 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of physical labor.
But-
And I'm pooped.
And the twist is when you get to the end of your shift, the soul that you've mined is actually yours.
Oh,
It's like a M. Night Shyamalan twist.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
It's a very twisty twist.
Yes.
I hate it.
It's your soul. You're welcome.
This is Nicknames Movies, the podcast where we talk about what we've been watching and give you our thoughts. Want to be a part of the cast? You can head on over to patreon.com/nicknamesmovies, where you can donate as low as $1 and get the episodes a day early. If you don't want to donate, it's no big deal. Remember, every episode will be live every Sunday on YouTube or your favorite podcast service of choice. You can also head on over to tpublic.com/user/nicknamesmovies to find our merch and help represent. You don't get to touch the chicken nuggets. We have not started the main podcast yet.
Joke's on you. I already ate like 2.
I know. I have not indulged. Let's dive into the previews, though, I guess, since you just want to get in there.
No.
Zach, what have you been watching? Did you dip it in the sauce?
No.
Try the sauce. It's chicken dipping sauce. You got to dip it in the chicken.
Yeah, what is this? A honey mustard?
No, just try.
It's not. Oh, that smells weird.
Just try the chicken
That smells
dipping
weird.
sauce.
It smells really vinegary.
Just try. It's sweet.
Oh no, I don't like that at all.
You don't like it at all?
Oh, it's awful. Enjoy that. Holy shit, that's bad.
Oh, you're the worst.
Sorry. Oh my god. Jesus, why did you make me stick that in my mouth?
Because it's delicious. I don't. Okay.
Oh man.
Let's read the ingredients here: sugar, water, mustard, tomato paste, apple cider vinegar, less than 2% of egg yolks, lemon juice, natural smoke flavor, salt, distilled vinegar, spice, xanthan gum, sodium benzoate. It's just getting more and more obscure. It's delicious. I have it every single time I have chicken nuggets. Well, fine.
That's gonna get stuck with me for a while.
You can have. I don't have any other.
I'll just eat more chicken without the sauce.
Fine. Fine. I have it with my ham sandwiches too.
Oh, so you make weird tasting sandwiches as well?
It's not weird tasting. You're the one that's weird.
Am I? I guess we'll never know since it's a 50-50 split, isn't it?
Where's Casey? Get her back. She'll probably hate it.
Well, I don't know. She likes vinegar.
Vinegar? Yeah. It's not that vinegary.
I instantly smelled it. That apple cider vinegar.
Less than 2%.
Yeah, well, it's strong. Oh, God. Just watching you about to eat it just makes me have, like, PTSD flashbacks about what I just ate. I
see where you're getting the vinegar.
It's awful.
But it's also sweet. Right? You see where I'm getting sweet?
I couldn't get past the taste of bad. I'm sorry I've insulted your apparently favorite dipping sauce.
Yeah, it's...
But quite frankly, I don't know if you should be eating something that's just generic chicken dipping sauce.
It's great value. You can get it at Walmart.
That's not a thing. That's not a condiment.
It's a pretty great value.
It's not a condiment.
Yes, it is.
No, nobody just came up with like, and now from the chicken plant, the chicken dipping sauce.
We're going on this for a while. But look, Chick-fil-A has their own dipping sauce.
Yeah, well, it's not great value, I guess.
What have you been watching, Zach? I am thoroughly peeved.
Sorry. So aside from I watched a little bit for our topic this week.
Right.
Aside from that, I watched Little Woman, the 1994 movie.
Little Woman?
Little Women.
Okay.
Plural.
I thought it was just the movie about a very
not
small
one small
woman.
woman. Okay. No, it's many small women.
Okay. How small?
When they're on the TV, it could probably fit in your hand a little bit, depending on perspective.
Well, it depends on how big your TV is too.
Yeah.
And how far away you're
I
sitting.
mean, there's no telling how little these women are until we get some scientists in on this.
I mean, yeah, I guess we can call a scientist. You want me to call a scientist?
Yes.
Let me call a scientist really quick.
Beep boop beep boop. Bop, bop, bop.
No, I'm gonna actually call not a scientist, but
no, don't do this. Don't do it again. It didn't work last time.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't do it.
Hold on. Who am I gonna call?
Ghostbusters. I'm sorry. I had to. You said the thing.
What was the question? How little are these women?
Little women.
Hey, you're on the Nicknames Movies podcast. How are you, sir? I'm doing good. We have a quick scientific question, and you were the only scientist I knew. We're trying to figure out how little the Little Women are in the movie Little Women.
I can't help you. I've never seen that movie.
The 1994 film? Starring who?
Kristen Dunst is in it.
Kristen
as a
Dunst?
small child.
Is it Kirsten or Kristen?
I don't know.
Okay. You're the only scientist I know. I don't know. I don't have any other questions. I didn't think it through. No, I never.
I told him not to. I let the record show. I told him not to call.
All right. Thank you so much for your help and input. I won't bother you again. Okay. I love you. Okay. I just called a random number.
Sure, that was it.
Hey, don't ruin the illusion.
How is there an illusion?
Whatever. So, Little Women.
Yes.
Because you watched the trailer for the new Little Women?
No. Well, no. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly how we got onto it, but I had never seen any version of Little Women.
Who wrote Little Women? It was one of the Bronte sisters, wasn't it?
Emily
Emily,
Bronte, I
not
believe.
Charlotte.
Let me make sure.
It's been almost a decade since I was in. Actually, was I in the class with you?
I have never read Little Women, so if
Romantic
you read
literature. Well, we didn't read it.
Oh no!
But romantic literature. Did we take that class together?
I took that class, but I don't think I was with you.
Well, I think they only did it for that one semester.
Oh really?
It was romantic literature and Gothic, whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
now I can't remember.
that's okay.
Oh wow, we were both wrong. It is not a Bronte.
Oh, is it? Is
Yeah.
it not? Oh.
Louisa May Alcott.
I have never heard that name before.
Well, now you have.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
That is okay. My mind is blown. Cause yeah, Pride and Prejudice is by one of them.
No. God damn it, no.
Am I wrong?
Yes, it's Jane Austen.
Okay. They're all old ladies who wrote old books about other old ladies.
They're not old.
Going through the tough times, trying to get a husband.
They are specifically not old.
So that they can give birth to other older babies and the strifes and the hard times.
You know, it's just
in the
like
1800s, I
it's
think.
super important feminist literature just to devalue like that, but whatever.
Okay, the people who listen to this podcast are, I mean, they probably stopped listening a long time ago. You know?
Probably stopped at the chicken dip sauce.
I'm gonna trim that down, maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. So you watched Little Women.
I did. A lot of people in that, actually.
Yeah, it's a
I blanked on it earlier, but
ensemble.
Winona Ryder.
Oh, cool.
Christian Bale is actually in that.
Nice.
I believe that was a second movie role after Newsies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Newsies.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Where he played a 30-year-old man in a 12-year-old boy's body. Yeah.
Kristen Dunst, I said earlier.
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon is the mom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, that sounded weird. Cool.
Claire Danes.
Oh, nice.
Those are the big ones.
The Claire Danes is Homeland, Romeo plus Juliet. She's got the crazy eyes.
That's true.
Yeah. So. You like it?
Yeah, it was good.
For a nice romantic drama.
Yeah, and I actually think, now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I originally didn't watch this for our topic this week because I watched it before we had landed on a topic.
Yeah.
But I think this could also fall in line with that.
Okay. How so?
Well, for the audience, our topic this week is coming of age stories.
Yes.
And I think a lot of focus for coming age movies typically revolve around young boys.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Just the ones I can think of off the top of my head, I can list. All of them are male protagonists.
Yeah.
So.
But that kind of, I think that's because typically we, as like critics, or I guess, would typically look at something like 16 Candles as more of like a romance, when you could feasibly argue that it's a coming of age movie.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of something that falls along the lines of like, oh, it's a drama or a period piece.
Well,
but
because it takes place in the past. Yeah.
Like, it's this group of girls who are growing up, and they all have their different paths that they go out on, and it's kind of just like trying to come to terms with who you are and what your lot in life is, I guess.
You can almost you can almost say that nearly every coming of age film has some romance. It has some drama, obviously, because that's what life is. That's what coming of age is. It's growing up, learning how it is to become an adult, and all that stuff.
To put it into kind of a not depressing, but
Too late.
I don't know. I don't even know what word I'm looking for. But it's like a loss of innocence.
Yeah.
You know, you're no longer a child. You have to face the realities of the world head on now.
And that's almost always like the climax of each of the stories.
Right.
Yeah, whether it be romantic / sexual, or whether it be overcoming an obstacle like a bully, or acing the finals or something. You know. Yeah. So you watched a little bit. Did you watch anything else that?
That was pretty much it.
Just a little.
That was not part of the topic,
but it ended up kind of just.
Yeah, coalescing into that. And then for those who haven't seen, a new trailer dropped for the 2019. It's 2019, right? End of the year.
Let me look that up.
I believe it's like around Christmas time. For this,
would have to.
This new Little Women.
Little Women. I know. I started watching the trailer, but like I had a bad reception sort of situation. Yeah, Christmas Day.
Yeah. Okay.
Emma Watson, Timothée Chalamet with that. He's a dude, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure. He has
played Laurie.
He has a very like I'm gonna kill you with my penis type of face.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm familiar with the face.
You got Saoirse Ronan. I'll show you in a second. Meryl Streep.
Wait, are you showing me yours or are you showing
his
me...
face?
Okay.
Quote unquote his face.
I gotcha.
Laura Dern. Very cool. Got some Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Chris Cooper. And then some first timers like Abby Quinn.
The first time Meryl Streep.
No, I meant like the other Little Women, like Abby Quinn and Eliza Scanlon. I haven't heard of them doing stuff, but that's cool.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in seeing it probably after it's wound down in theaters and stuff, because there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out in Christmas.
Yeah, just to name a few. Star Wars, Cats.
Talk about cats. Angelical cats. Meow, 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 meow.
That's good. You're very sing-songy today.
Yeah, it's mainly the lack of sleep and the two monsters that I had on the way home, and I cleaned a little bit. If you look around, it's a little clean.
Yeah,
vacuumed for like a second, and then I ended up watching what I watched, which I try to watch a variety of stuff because I know I've been dipping in the sauce. Dipping in the sauce.
I'm not putting it in the fucking sauce again.
Yeah, fine. I ended up watching a few shows on Netflix just because it's there. I watched the first episode of Wu Assassins. And
how was that?
So, if you've ever watched anything like a good...
I have watched some things.
Okay, good. Prerequisite out the window. We got it. Check marked. If you're a big fan of like kung fu action films, especially more recent ones where they're a little bit more brutal, you got The Raid Redemption, you've got The Raid 2. The reason I bring those up is because it's got the main character Iko Uwais.
I think it's like every other episode we mentioned The Raid.
Yeah, but that's because they're both fantastically made films. They are. And because the main star is in this series as well. This is basically a 13-episode series of kung fu action.
Oh.
But here's the thing.
Oh, okay.
The story. I'll just kind of do slight episode 1 spoilers because that's all I've seen so far.
Okay. Yeah.
It starts off with this chef who's just trying to get by. He's working his butt off to save up to get a food truck and, become successful and do his own thing. But then Triad members. This is set in San Francisco, Chinatown.
Yeah.
Present day. And basically, Triad members start messing shit up in the main lobby area, and he leaves and stuff. And then there's like a very grounded story about him trying to get by and get this food truck and become successful while also trying to avoid Triad members because he was raised by the Triad's boss, one of the bosses, what's called a dragon. And he calls him his father and stuff, and there's a very Scar, Simba sort of...
So you're saying you should watch this over 2019 Lion King?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and say that, yeah.
Gotcha.
That's every other episode, too, just fucking Lion King.
How many Woos did they assassinate?
No, he is a Wu assassin. Like, Wu dash assassin.
Okay.
I don't know if that clarified anything. But here's the thing. Actually, getting into that. So he's just a normal chef guy, and then all of a sudden he's walking in an alleyway. Everything was a normal story, and then a chick comes out of nowhere, gives him a bracelet that starts glowing, and then fuses into his skin, and he becomes the chosen one, essentially,
sure.
with 1,000 monks that can take over his body and his appearance.
He's like an avatar.
Kind of, yeah. But with really, 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 really bad CG.
Cool.
Like 1998 CG.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's some bad CG.
It's really...
Is it like Mortal Kombat Annihilation CG?
Yes. Yes. With some, After Effects from like 2019. So you got some shiny bits.
Yeah, gotta mix it in there.
But, so the action is great. The dialogue, whenever it's not fantastical and Wu Assassin related, is great. Because there's like actual stakes. But then there's like bad guys need to show up. We haven't had an action scene in a little bit. And so the main character, Iko Uwais, trades places. They still do the stunt choreography with him, but basically another actor will show up because he's one of the monks, because he takes the form of a monk to kick ass.
Right.
So it's got this kind of like, it's trying to be an actual like crime action film with real stakes, but then it ends up adding this fantastical element that, like, just to explain the action scenes that happen to make them make sense, which makes them like feel out of place. Like, I was thoroughly invested all the way up until the ninja assassin lady showed up. It's like, hey, you're the chosen one. He's like, whoa, I'm not the chosen one.
Well, maybe it's something you just gotta get used to.
And it's 13 episodes, so maybe it'll get better. But
how does it compare to the puppet show that we watched?
Oh, very, very. That's much better. I mean, the CG is still. I would say the CG's on
that's
par
a
with
possible thing.
Okay, let me look up the name of that puppet show, because there's also a show on Netflix that's basically Chinese puppet theater, but it's filmed as if it was a real
live action
show. Let me look that up.
They have like magic and shit going on.
There's a lot of magic. The intro is 10 minutes long.
Fuck, that thing would not end.
I know. Yeah. Let me look that up. Oh, Invader Zim. Oh, that's a preview.
Yeah. No, it's the movie. They released the Invader Zim movie on Netflix.
Yeah, it says it's a preview, though.
Oh, really?
The Enter the Florpus one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, here it is. War of Dragons. Pill Fantasy? Hold on. Pilly Fantasy, War of Dragons. And each episode is an hour long, and it's just puppets.
It was fucking amazing.
So think high fantasy Chinese war drama, but from the people who made Team America.
Sometimes I still think about when the guy is on the hill, and keep in mind these are puppets.
Yeah.
And this puppet is like bleeding profusely because
Kill Bill style.
He's been chased through like woods and up a mountain by this group of soldiers or whatever.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And he goes up towards the sky. Has this the lot that God has cursed me to, or some shit like that? And immediately, not even skipping a beat, is struck by lightning.
It explodes.
It explodes.
For no reason. I mean, it's probably based off of something that we're absolutely out of our element.
I mean, probably like Romance of the Three Kingdoms or something.
Or something to that effect. But what I highly recommend somebody if you're listening to this, give that a shot. Give it. If you can get through the intro.
Yeah. That's a long intro.
Then you're in.
It has about, when you were watching Return of the King and you get to the end and you're like, okay, that was the end. Oh wait, no, here we go again.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the end.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
No, the elves gotta leave. Elves gotta leave.
And that's okay, like, in hindsight, because it all kind of serves a certain purpose.
There's a lot
There's a
to,
narrative,
you know.
like, they're just wrapping everything up individually, as opposed to they're all in a group and, freeze frame, whatever. But this is like that on, like, 20 grams of cocaine.
I know, it's great. And it's like, they made this wasn't made like 20 years ago and they're just now putting it up. This was made last year.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So Wu Assassins, pretty good. The special effects are garbage so far, but the action choreography is on par with the Raid because it's the same guy.
Oh, okay.
And actually, if you've seen John Wick 3,
I have not.
you should.
I want to.
Okay.
I'm not.
Well,
I've seen the first two.
It's on the way. We should do a watch, like, all three of them.
Yeah.
We should. I'm actually
trill it up.
Let me
trill it up.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
We'll do that. I'll get the beers.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll trill it up.
We'll bro it up.
I like mine better.
What are you saying?
Trill it up, like trilogy.
Trill it up. Okay.
Trill it up.
I feel like there's a euphemism for trill.
It's trillin' time. Now you're thinking trim.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
John Wick 3. So one of the main antagonists who's trying to kill John in the third one, he's actually one of the monks in Wu Assassins. He's actually a very famous martial arts choreographer / expert.
Very nice.
So I watched that. I also watched an anime because
of course you did.
It would. You could be disappointed all you want.
I'm not disappointed. I just know.
I watched.
It's like, it's another week of nicknamed movies. What anime did Nick watch?
I can't help it, okay? I am secretly a 12-year-old girl.
You have a disease.
I have an ink.
The anime has infested you.
Yeah, it's an infection, really. I watched Cannon Busters, which just recently got premiered on Netflix as well.
Yeah.
A Netflix quote-unquote original animation, but it's a team of both Western and Eastern animation studios. And you've got kind of a cool... I mean, it's based off of a very indie comic that didn't even get past 2 issues.
Yeah.
But so far, I'm liking it. I got 2 episodes in. The animation, the world it's basically in is very Cowboy Bebop meets Trigun.
Yeah, Trigun is the one that I keep seeing a lot.
Yeah. And kind of the cool musical stylings of Shampoo and Afro Samurai. So it's very unique. And the voice acting isn't bad. But yeah, having fun. It's anime.
Nice.
It's cool action. It's cool comedy. Just recommend giving that 1 episode, 2 episodes. If you like it, keep watching.
Oh.
I got a hiccup.
Yeah,
Sorry.
what's going on over there?
I got a small amphibian in my throat.
Oh,
a lizard.
Is he okay? Don't do that.
Yeah, okay. I'll cut that out. Maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows? I'll probably get bored and just not cut it out. That's what's gonna happen.
So those two.
Those two. And then. Hold on. Because I was gonna watch one movie, but I didn't have time because we went to go see a movie last night.
We did.
That is topical, so I didn't watch.
I thought you started watching Aladdin.
I did start watching Aladdin. Against your review and my better judgment.
You're the only one to ever hear.
I want. Because it got cut.
That was the one I got lost.
Oh no. It's not great. It's meh,
Yeah.
It's probably on par with The Lion King 2019 in that it's meh. It unnecessary.
Yeah, it's certainly that.
Boring
for the most part.
Yeah, it's just I got to about a little after the genie introduces himself because I wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear the Will Smith version.
Yeah.
And the kind of the context. I didn't like Sexy Jafar.
He's smoldering.
I know. It's just like, come on.
He's also not original Jafar was
tall,
kind of slimy and
gaunt.
Gross.
Yeah.
He played the game. I think a little more.
He played the game.
What's the word? Kind of metered. He wasn't as I hate women,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
will
yeah.
be Sultan.
Very obvious theatrical type of
which is
villain.
what he is in this 2018
He's
one.
not. He's not. I am
Or
Jafar.
2019.
I will whisper it behind you. He was the guy behind the guy.
Yeah.
He was that kind of villain.
Yeah. Doing everything in the shadows. And
Yeah.
then once he gets everything he needs, then he becomes
Then he'd be
like boisterous.
He's that's the kind of villain we need in
Yes,
Aladdin.
a very 90s villain.
Yeah, but we didn't get that.
We didn't.
So I didn't even finish it. It was just kind of like, and the song, Jasmine's song, that's all of 30 seconds long.
It's
was
very
like,
short. They do a reprise like later on, so it's a little longer. But I think total she sings for maybe like a minute and a half in the
That
movie.
sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't even finish that.
Yeah.
And then I watched more anime. I watched a certain scientific railgun and a certain magical index, which has its weird convoluted timeline where two anime series are going on at the same time.
Oh.
So I gotta watch like a few episodes here from one series and a few episodes.
It's
But
like,
I mean, you could do
it's
it.
like the CW verse.
Well, no, you could watch it like just like release schedule,
Mm.
like just watch them in order that way. But apparently, it's a slog. if
I
you do it
hear
that way.
Danganronpa is similar in that regard
But like season to
because
season,
you have to jump around from like game to anime to game. It's kind of weird how it's all.
I have heard that. I have
Yeah.
heard that, but I've only watched the anime, and it was fine. I
Yeah.
just when people get punished for losing a case,
Yeah.
it's just like, do they die or do they just disappear or what? And then the twist at the end of the first season is stupid. I don't like it.
I don't know that.
Well, that's stupid.
Well, keep it.
That's my review.
unspoiled.
Danganronpa season 1. It's fine. Go play the games instead. Let's dive into the main topic.
Alrighty.
Coming of age films.
Yes.
Be raised to a certain age. I have no notes for this. I didn't do any research.
I'm wondering where you're going.
Little boys and girls finding a conflict. And
Oh, you're trying to define it.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing my best. Finding a conflict and trying to find the next step in order to become, whether it be adults or the next step of life for them.
I think typically, yeah, as you said, there is a generally a central conflict, but the more important bit is not necessarily what the characters are trying to accomplish, but rather the journey they're going on
Right.
and where they end up by the end of it.
So give me an example, because you watched a couple.
I did watch a couple. I'll name one that I didn't watch this time, but I have seen.
Okay, that's fine.
The It of any year, either the original miniseries or the
Ooh, we're going horror.
the
was for the first
redone,
one.
reboot.
Reboot, redo.
Yeah, Redux.
It's redo. It's French.
Redux.
Ho, ho, ho. Anyway.
Yeah, that would generally be a coming of age story because you
Oh, yeah.
have the general conflict of all the kids versus Pennywise, this clown, or I'll say clown.
Creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is terrorizing Derry, but the important part is how they, as a group, grow as friends and as people individually,
Yeah.
and what they discover about each other. And for those who haven't seen the original miniseries or read the book, then you haven't quite gotten like the full sell on that because you're still waiting
Went
for
on
part
chapter
2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would generally classify as such.
Oh yeah. Are you excited for the new one?
I am. Yeah, I didn't think. Here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
I liked chapter 1.
Right.
With the Skarsgård as Pennywise.
It's not Alexander Skarsgård. It's Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah, I think that's right.
The one
Or
from... Hold on, I got it.
it's not True Blood. It's not True
No,
Blood.
True Blood
Skarsgård.
is Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård is the one from the other Stephen King show,
Oh, Castle Rock.
Castle Rock.
Yeah,
He played the boy.
yeah. That they find at the bottom of the well. Or the prison well.
Bottom of the prison thing.
Do you ever finish that?
I did not finish it.
I got like 3 episodes in and I dropped it.
I got about 4 episodes in
Yeah.
and I dropped it because I feel like they were taking too long to twist the screw, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
To kind of, they were doing a lot of twists and a lot of setup, but I feel like they weren't answering enough questions at a well enough pace. So I just
I don't
kind
know.
of fell
Yeah,
off.
I can see that. My thing, the reason I dropped it was because I was watching it with someone, and
In Hemlock Grove, he was in Hemlock Grove.
oh, I was watching it with someone, and then they weren't around to watch it, so it was like one of those things, like, oh, I don't want to watch it without them.
Oh, who
and then
left
by
you?
my mom,
I was gonna say, who hurt you?
my mom.
Ah.
I did like it while I was watching it.
Yeah, I did too, because I like the main actor in it.
But yeah, so it with the Bill Skarsgård,
With his weird
the
eye.
new one, I like. It's a good movie, and I think it's unfair for me to compare it to the original in terms of scare factor, because I didn't really come out of chapter 1 feeling like, oh yeah, I was really terrified from that.
Right.
Because when I watched the miniseries, it was on tape, back when you could get tapes that you had to have 2 for.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, like...
What are tapes?
Oh, I see. Well, there are these mythical square rectangles
Okay.
that you put
got me.
into little mouth machines called VCRs.
Is it like a bigger DVD player? What?
It is generally bigger.
Okay.
And then they play
what
them.
do you do with
They
it?
play the movie, but then once you're done with the
Oh.
movie, you have to rewind it.
What?
Be kind. Rewind.
You just go back to the main menu.
No, there's no menu.
I'm sorry, what?
You know, we're having fun here.
We keep doing this.
I
bit
did
for
watch
as
a thing where the two of the kids from Stranger Things were asked what a VCR was, or they asked what you put a VHS in, and they couldn't think of a VCR.
Yeah, that made me sad too.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Which, like, I'm not gonna judge them for not knowing that. It just makes me feel old.
Yeah, it just makes me feel a little bit
Yeah.
sad and crusty. I feel crusty.
You know, should take a shower.
I do. I'm just saying, like, don't you feel old and kind of broken after stuff like that?
I always feel old and broken.
Yeah. What's a Pokemon? Oh, come on.
Well, they know that.
I know that was a bad example, but
But yeah, so when I watched it, the miniseries,
Mhm.
it was on 2 VHS tapes,
like Titanic,
like Titanic,
Right Stuff,
mm-hmm. or The
Uh,
Godfather,
Godfather. Yeah.
basically any movie over 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Um,
God, we're old.
and I was like fucking 5 or 6 when I watched it. So yeah, you better believe it scared the shit out of me. I had nightmares about fucking Pennywise for years.
Well, it's Tim Curry, all right,
That's true. Yeah,
who is a phenomenal character actor.
he was.
Was
Is
thank
he's
you.
not
Don't
really
scare me
he
like
doesn't
that.
really do anything.
That's
anymore.
scarier than anything in the It miniseries.
But because of that, you know,
Eliza.
oh,
Wild Thornberry's reference. Sorry.
because of that, you know, I go into the new one and I'm like, well, it's a good movie. It's
Yeah.
still a really good coming of age movie. Like all the kids are great, but because I'm not small and my mind has been irreparably damaged,
You're not small?
well, young rather.
Yeah.
Um,
Quite small.
you know, I didn't come away with it thinking like, oh, that's really scary.
That's fair.
But I did like
you have precedent, you have like the memories of that as a kid, so you're kind of
Yeah.
scarred by that version.
Exactly.
Which
I'm
is different.
scarred. That is a correct word. To
Very
use.
true. You know, it's funny. I have the same kind of movie. This isn't coming of age. Let me just do a quick
Yeah.
side. Signs. It was
Ah,
the
yes,
first
that was a
scary
good
movie
one,
that actually kind of like, I can't watch this movie. You know, I can't finish it. Can't ever. I didn't watch it until like 10 years later.
That's 2003.
3 or 4. Yeah.
That's kind of late. I'm surprised that's that late. When did you start watching scary movies?
Well, I guess maybe that's a bad example. It was like the first scary movie that like
Stuck with you.
it stuck with me. Maybe not scarred, but stuck with me.
Yeah.
It was the alien walking
Walking
across
through the
birthday.
brush,
Yeah.
like the Bigfoot.
No,
pose.
it was the birthday.
Yeah,
tape that
when
they
he comes
watched.
out of the
the alleyway or whatever.
yeah.
across the street.
and he does the. Oh,
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you watch it now, it's very dated
It
and
is,
very bad.
what kills aliens? Water.
Okay, he took it from War of the Worlds. let's
Why
be
would
honest.
you? Okay, but it still stands. War of the Worlds can take this too.
Yeah.
You were an advanced alien civilization. why would you go
With
to a planet
that can
that is
70%
90% water?
not 90%.
It's a lot.
What countries have
And by
disappeared
the way,
off the face
War
of
of
the
the
map?
Worlds wasn't water. It was the common cold.
Common cold. It was like
germs.
the diseases and germs
But
and stuff.
like
the
that,
same thing.
I think you can argue that though because they didn't have that. So how the fuck are they supposed to know?
I don't know. Research.
I
They were
guess
under
you-
the
I
ground.
guess I guess you could say the same thing.
The
for
machines
science.
that they come up in, because they were underground
Yeah,
before.
That's true.
They could have done like some digging. They could have thrown out some diodes. They were under the ground. They could have gotten some of that bacteria and done some research
That's true.
in automated mode. We're talking way too much about all this stuff. Coming of age.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the movie that we both saw yesterday.
We went and saw Good Boys.
Good Boys, about the three little boys on a good old adventure.
Elementary. Well,
Sixth
young middle school.
Yeah. And so the story is that they get invited to a little kissing party for little kids. All the kids are there. No adults.
Yeah.
And then stuff happens. A drone gets destroyed. They have to go replace the drone because it's one of the kids' dads. And hilarity ensues.
Yeah, it's basically, we got to get to the party, but there's stuff stopping us from getting to the party.
If this sounds very familiar, it's because
It's super bad.
it's super bad.
It's super bad
it's
with
my life.
It's super bad with young kids, younger kids.
Yeah, it's a tale as old as time. It's kids getting into trouble, basically trying to do the one thing that they think is the thing that they need to do in order to be grown-ups or to be the cool kids.
And unlike Superbad, where it's like the joke is they know what to do, but like underneath all this bravado, they're really just
Insecure.
like kind of insecure teenagers who are about to go off to college, and it's like a friendship story. Like, oh, they love each other, but they're not going to be able to see each other as much, and that kind of thing, and like the loss of.
I mean, there's a little bit of that in Good Boys.
But what I was getting at is like they know what it means to like lose their virginity, right?
Yeah,
and Superbad, like that's the whole crux of it.
You put the penis and
whereas with
and
Good
the
Boys, the joke is they are being presented with all these things and they have no idea what it is.
Which is very strange to think in 2019 in like most like suburban America, how these kids do not know. Like they all have their own phones, but in order to research porn, they go to a laptop and type in.
And they don't even do that to research porn. They do it because they want to know how to kiss.
Yeah.
And what's the thing they think of before how do you kiss? They type in porb and then recorrect porn.
And then porn and then they type in boobs.
Yeah.
Instead of just
that pulled me out of it because they type in boobs and the first thing to come up is fucking breast cancer. Like fuck off, man! What kind of internet are you using?
That's safe search. And then how do they turn the safe search off?
Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah. You type in boobs in any search engine, you're getting porn.
Hold on. I'm gonna type in boobs, not into the main computer because we're recording with that. But so I'm on Google. Let me type in boobs. The first search result is boobs hurt during pregnancy.
Yeah.
This is the autocomplete. And then Bob's Burgers. So pretty cool.
So someone
shows how my search history. All right, I'm a good boy. And then there's Bob's Shoes, which I guess a guy named Bob has some shoes he wants to sell.
Well, that guy who's searching for Bob's Shoes is really annoyed because Bob's Burgers keeps popping up.
The first result.
God damn it. Who is Bob and why does he have so many burgers?
He doesn't watch TV. He doesn't know. And then the fifth result is boobs hurt after ovulation. So you got two, obviously,
informational searches and two irrelevant
Bob's Burgers and Bob's Shoes. So my search history is clean, and I'm a good boy, and no one can tell me otherwise.
Well, you didn't search.
I did. It was article. No. Oh, fine.
You didn't hit the search button.
Hold on, I'll do it. Boobs. Okay, first one is 17 Magazine. 23 best celebrity boobs on Instagram. Celebs.
That's basically porn.
Yeah, and then YouTube. Not wearing a bra for a week with big boobs.
Again, basically porn.
Yeah, it's a lot of magazines. Oh no, Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary is the fourth result. So. And then Twitter with...
Well, it's not Pornhub, but... It's not breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, it's women's health. The 7th result. So there you go.
Well, it's not the first result.
It's the 7 types of boobs that exist. So coming of age films. Good Boys. So I actually read a review that summed up the way that the film is portrayed very accurately.
Yeah.
This film would not only not be funny, it would actually be pretty horrifying to watch if these kids were, say, 5 years older. Because they would basically be teenagers. It would be super bad, but with the kids not knowing anything about what they know in Superbad.
I
And
don't know how you make that movie though.
Exactly. That the only reason this movie works is because the kids are at the age
they are.
What they are. It's basically Superbad with little kids that don't know anything.
Right. So I think that's getting at kind of how I feel about the movie, and it's basically that it's kind of a one-note joke over and over again.
Over and over and over again.
The kids are presented with things that they're not going to understand. There's a sex doll. There's a gimp mask. There's a dildo. There's fucking
Anal
drugs.
beads.
Anal beads. Oh, fuck the anal beads, man. They're passing around anal beads like it's a fucking necklace.
Like
and I'm just like, oh my fucking God.
Okay. So you could tell by my response and just recalling the film, it's a funny movie. I apologize to you once the credits rolled. I was like, I am so sorry that I was ugly laughing.
That didn't bother me.
Because everyone is laughing at the same jokes for the most part. There were 2 older ladies to our right.
Yeah, they were loving
having
it.
A blast.
They were enjoying it the most, I think.
I think because they're like, our grandkids would never do this.
Yeah, I don't know. But
do you know their grandkids?
No, I don't. Which is why I said I don't know.
What? Shut up.
But yeah, so like I think you probably got a little bit more enjoyment out of it than I did. Like I got some chuckles out of it.
Yeah.
There were certain things that I'm like, the fuck did he just say? Like,
yeah, because kids...
Or like the whole, there's the bully, and he keeps showing up in like a different Obey shirt every scene. I don't know if you noticed. Yeah, the only thing he ever wears is an Obey shirt, but it's a different one each time. So
and
that's
like
apparently his entire wardrobe is just Obey shirts.
He changes shirts like every 2 hours.
Yeah,
I think that, and here's the thing, I totally agree with you. When I was not laughing at like the first 10 minutes of the movie, I was like, oh wait, I know what I have to do. I didn't have any drugs to take or any alcohol at that point. But I basically had to turn my brain off.
Right.
It was like, same thing with Pineapple Express. When I was like not laughing at first, after the beginning part with Bill Hader.
Yeah.
The first time. Yeah. Because that was hilarious the second time. And I was like, oh wait, you have to turn your brain off for Seth Rogen films. That's the thing. It's stoner. This movie is a stoner comedy.
Yeah,
without
it is.
any drugs.
Well, they have drugs, but the kids don't have drugs, but there are drugs present.
No one is high except for the 2 girls at the end. Yeah, really. But
there were scenes that I thought were funny, like the whole there's the paintball shootout
that was the funniest
in a fraternity. That was really funny.
Hey guys, she just gave me back custody.
Yeah. I believe the line is she just dropped the charges.
She just dropped the charges.
It's towing the line.
Still funny. Because it's in a frat house.
Yeah. And then he immediately gets shot in the face or balls with a paint gun.
Probably both.
Yeah.
But did you like the film? Would you recommend it to
probably
people?
wouldn't watch it again.
That's... No.
Like, I can see what they were trying to do, but... I don't know if they really stuck the landing. And like they have these opportunities that I think they kind of miss out on.
How so?
Like the ending, for instance. It's
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a general spoiler to say, you know, like, oh, well, basically nothing happens.
For a comedy film, it's hard to spoil.
But they do this bit where the kids are at like this what do you call it? Like a party, like
soiree,
a
shindig.
It's like a business term, like when you're finished filming or a rap
party.
They're at a rap party basically, And they're acting like they haven't seen each other in years, and it's been like
month.
they're all acting like adults who are married
Yeah.
and like off with kids. Like, oh hey, look who it is.
It's
and
like literally been a month. Yeah.
And
They
like
see each other at school every day.
I don't think they who directed this? It's Tim Hooper?
No. Tim Hooper.
I thought that's who it was. The Deadpool guy?
No, Tom Hooper did Les Miserables and Cats. Toby Hooper did Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This was
this is
two episodes ago. Or last week, yeah. Yeah, I know his name was like Skitzenpoopin or something. That was the guy's name. Hold on, let me look it up. IMDb. Gene Stupnitsky.
Has he done anything else?
Hold on. He has directed. He was a producer on Bad Teacher, The Office. He was a writer on Year One.
Oh god, that's not
writer,
good.
he wrote Good Boys with another guy. Nothing outside of like a couple episodes of some TV shows and.
Well, so what I was getting at is like there are these bits that I think he could have done more with, like, but he opts to go with like the gross out humor or the absurdism, which is fine. Like that's what the movie is. It's absurdist humor, and as you said, it's stoner comedy.
Yeah, kids getting into situations they would normally never get themselves into.
But like, I watched Superbad this week as well.
Oh, okay.
And I think that plays its strengths a lot more solidly.
Yeah,
because it knows what it's like teen, excess. Like, what if you could go to this adult party with all this alcohol everywhere, but then like a huge fight breaks out and you have to run away from the cop, like shit like that.
Stuff that's even possible in the real world.
It almost feels more sincere.
Well, I know that Superbad was written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg when they were actual kids.
Right.
And they just kind of touched it up when they were adults.
And that kind of feels more genuine.
Yeah. Because that's what they said when they were
and
kids.
It's not just all that humor. Like a lot of it is probably like 80% of it, but then there's that other 20% where they kind of will steer into like syntax humor and grammatical humor, like shit like that, like
the smart humor.
And I don't want to be like an asshole. It's like, oh well, it's in my stoner comedy. I need some high end, highbrow humor.
Yeah,
but like I think you can twist it in a way to where it will give you the film overall more character,
right?
And it's not just played for one laugh over and over again.
It almost seems like a whole bunch of skits kind of tied together,
and there's only so many skits or scenarios that you can put your characters in before it's like, okay, well, I get the joke. What is it? What does this movie end with? What does Good Boys end with? Oh, they find a sex swing in one of their parents' and the bedroom, and then they swing on it because they think it's just a swing.
Yeah,
but then
they get caught
at the very end. They figure out, oh, it's for sex. Oh, and credits roll. Like, we haven't gone anywhere with the characters here, and I know they're
really
like,
grow.
Yeah, and I know they're children, and I think part of I guess there's a thesis to this movie.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
Is that there's time to grow later on.
Yeah.
You don't have to be this forever, and like this one segment of your life is not going to define who you are. Yeah, just be kids. So I can see why
it's kind of an anti-coming of age.
Yeah, almost like just kind of stay where you are.
Well, maybe this was a bad example of a
well, we're deconstructing it, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't think that's what they intended.
No,
I think they just meant they just wanted to gross out.
They wanted kids playing with a sex doll because they think it's a CPR doll.
Yeah. I like Stephen Merchant's cameo in this. He's
he's funny. Fucking Bill Hader plays the weirdest character in this movie.
Bill Hader?
Yeah.
Who was he in this?
Wait, Bill Hader? Is that
Will Forte. The dad?
Oh, Will Forte. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Bill, I was thinking Superbad, I think.
or It.
But yeah. Bill Hader is in Superbad. I don't know if you
he was one of the cops.
Will Forte plays a very strange character in this.
It's kind of a spoiler, but he catches his son, who's one of the main kids, and he gives him a stern talking to, like most parents do with their kids when they catch them in the act.
That's a little different.
But his is like, "You're dead to me."
Yeah, he essentially says, "You're dead to me."
Yeah.
He goes,
"Son, I love you.
I will love you. I will always love you because you're my son, but I no longer
I don't like you. I see the devil in your eyes."
Oh, like, okay, how am I supposed to play it? Like, is this? That's it? You don't get any like turnaround on that. He never comes.
No,
back
there is
on
no
it.
conclusion.
Like
to
the
that.
joke is, oh, I guess this dad hates his child now.
I think it's just like hopefully he's an adult and he grows, but we never get that.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like once he's done being grounded and the party at the end happens
After a month,
which is a very short time to be grounded
for what it does. Yeah.
For especially this short movie. But we never get that like, "Oh, but I love you, son," and I forgive you and all that kind of stuff, because that's not what this film is.
No, it's not.
So, what's another great coming of age film that we can do?
So I watched, as I said, I watched Superbad, which I think still holds up pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Oh
my gosh, I have a great one. If whatever your example is.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if you remember, Dave Franco is actually in this movie.
Dave Franco was in Good Boys?
No,
he's in Superbad. Yeah.
There's a bit part. Never comes back. It was like one scene.
Oh, I think that was like the start. They wanted to test the waters with
Yeah.
him. James Franco did,
Yeah.
because I assume he was probably on set at one day or another. Because like he's in every other.
I was watching. I was like, "Is that fucking Dave? That's Dave Franco."
If it's not James Franco, it's Dave Franco.
Little trivia for you. On top of that trivia, this was Superbad was actually the first R-rated movie I saw in theaters.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
2007.
Yeah. No. 2007.
Huh?
I would have been 16. Yeah.
That's
17. I was born in
1990?
91. I was born in 91.
But whenever it came out, you were 17.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just the math is there.
Actually, I think what happened was I bought a ticket. I had a friend who was 17. He bought a ticket for me.
Yeah.
And I just went in and nobody stopped me. So
Yeah, it was.
it's like I like 16 and
Did you go to
like
the one I worked at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not that one actually. I went to the one we just went to.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Huh. It's pretty lax.
Yeah.
There's one doorman,
Not
and there's huge like entryways to like get past him.
not the first R-rated movie I had ever seen. Period. But
Right.
the first one I saw in theaters.
Like the first one you bought a ticket for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
As an example, I can't think of mine. Hold on. I'll get there. I'll think about it. I'll get back to you next week.
But I also watched kind of a curveball. I watched a Goofy movie.
Sideways ball.
Yeah, Sideways
baseball. It's a callback. You watched a Goofy movie.
I watched a Goofy movie.
That's a good coming of age. In fact, that's a great summation of like all coming of age films.
Yeah.
Because they go through.
And it wasn't one I was thinking of. I was
Everything.
just kind of going down a list, and I saw it. I was like, "Oh yeah, that is a coming of age movie."
Did you like the Pauly Shore character? That's just Pauly Shore.
Yeah. Oh, fucking what's his Vecino?
Goofy.
No. Shut up. Oh fuck! I looked him up.
Are you
too.
talking about the musician at the end?
No.
Who is that?
Who plays the Princess Bride? Who's Vincino? Or
Carrie Elwes.
no, not him. Not the main character. Have you seen Princess Bride?
Yes.
The guy he does the poison thing with.
Inconceivable.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Well, he's the president or the president.
Yeah, the
principal in this.
Yeah. He's a.
Now I gotta look it up.
I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
He is.
Okay. Because he still does voice work.
Yeah, a lot basically. It's
When you have a voice like that, you know,
all right.
I want to get there someday.
Wallace Shawn.
Wallace Shawn?
Yeah.
I knew, like, yeah. Once I see his face, I'm like, oh yeah, Wallace Shawn. It's one of those.
But yeah, it's a good movie. It's very 90s.
Oh yeah, especially with the concert at the
There's
end.
literally and I didn't remember there being as many songs as there are in this.
It's
but
a
there's
musical.
like 4 other songs
Yeah.
in this other than the last one. But the last one is the only one that people remember because it's the best.
Oh yeah.
The other ones aren't super good.
Would you say they're goofy?
They are goofy, yeah. The movie itself is pretty goofy, so I guess it lives up to its namesake.
Okay, so we're adults now, right?
Yeah.
The chick that Max is into,
Yes. Marcine.
Marcine?
Yeah.
Kind of hot, right?
Yeah.
As a Mickey Mouse character?
Yeah.
Like with the hair behind the ear thing?
The movie starts with a literal sex dream.
Oh, yeah.
It just doesn't get to the sex.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a nightmare because Max is like, "Oh no, I'm turning into Goofy."
Yeah, I remember having nightmares of that nightmare.
That I also remember that scene specifically, but I thought it was later in the movie. Like I don't know what happens.
I thought it was like halfway.
Yeah,
through the movie.
when you're like a small child, like time just like gets all fucking
scenes get jumbled up and
haywire.
everything. Yeah.
But it's literally the start of the movie.
It was. Yeah, imagine turning into your father as you try to ask out the love of your life.
Not even ask out. Like you are about to have sex, which is what that dream is. She's like in this like silk. It would probably be see through if it was like a live action thing.
Okay.
Like gown, and she's like flying from clouds like down to him, and they're like
kind
rolling
of
around in the grass and all that
Renaissance painting-esque type of thing.
He does not get to go that far. But yeah, it's a sweet movie.
It's got a lot of funny bits in it from what I remember. It's been a while since I've seen it.
It's quick. It's like 77 minutes long.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Keeping in theme with all the other Disney films of the 90s.
Yeah. So I watched that. That was good. And then I also watched what I think of when I think coming of age movies. Yeah. I think this is the quintessential one.
16 Candles. Is it a John Hughes film?
No.
Oh, okay.
Stand By Me.
Oh yeah. Stephen King. Yeah. Another Stephen King story.
Rob Reiner directed.
Yeah.
And I actually read he did something really interesting with these kids.
Oh no.
In terms of acting.
Oh, okay. I don't want to. I have to edit out so much of this episode already.
Before they started actually shooting the movie, they did like a 2-week long kind of improv thing.
Yeah.
And it was to build up the camaraderie between all the boys, which River Phoenix,
R.I.P.
Corey Feldman,
R.I.P.
Will Wheaton.
I forgot Will Wheaton is one of the kids.
He's the main kid. He's great.
Oh, okay. Cool. Star Trek.
And I don't remember the other guy, but he's been in some pretty meh movies since then.
Okay.
The bigger kid.
Yeah. Larger frame. It's just
there's always one. Goonies. Goonies would classify as a coming of age one.
Oh, you don't mean fat kids in movies? Okay.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I thought you were talking about groups of kids on an adventure, and there's always one fat kid in the group.
No, I was saying that.
Oh, okay.
Generally.
Oh no, I thought you were just okay. We're on the same page, but on different sections. I gotcha. Different paragraphs.
Yeah, he did this improv thing for 2 weeks, so they built up camaraderie. So when they actually started shooting, then they had more back and forth, and they had multiple shots where it was one take.
Yeah,
and that's crazy, for kids.
And I think that's awesome. And I hear of that more and more, that they try to always have the kid, like for Stranger Things, they do that a lot too. They try to have the actors kind of try to get to know each other so that they can play off of each other, and their acting skills kind of grow over these, I would say, workshops,
right?
But like little kind of mini vacations before they start filming.
Yeah,
it's a really smart move when it comes to
it's you are putting forth the extra bit for your craft,
right?
I think, just to make it that more believable
for kid actors who are still kind of learning, whether they're thespians.
Well, frankly, I think some adults could use that.
For sure
process too. I mean, you look at fucking James Franco and Seth Rogen. As much as their movies are kind of one notes most of the time, they do have a back and forth that it has been fostered over the years because they're actually friends and they hang out a lot. So
the improv is more genuine.
Yeah,
it comes off more genuine.
You can conceivably see them literally doing the same thing away from a camera.
Oh yeah, and that's like whenever they do films like I can't remember the name of it, but there was like a serious drama film with Jonah Hill and James Franco, where Jonah Hill I think is like a convicted killer or whatever. Or it's James Franco's one.
Yeah, Stand By Me, really great movie. I think if you have not seen it, you really need to. It's one of the best movies. Definitely one of the best Stephen King adaptations out there. In fact, King himself has been on record. I don't know
saying
if
it was one of his favorite adaptations.
it's definitely one of his favorite. I don't know if it's still his favorite. I don't know if he's amended it since the King Renaissance and
with everything
film.
being adapted.
Yeah.
I know that he said really, really good things about It Chapter 2. Like,
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
this is one of my favorite.
And in Chapter 1, he was really high up on too. Yeah.
But I think that could just be good self-promotion.
True.
Because his new book is coming out this month as well.
Yeah.
Or next month. True Story was the one with James Franco and Jonah Hill.
Gotcha.
James Franco is the killer and all that stuff. So you were like, anybody who was watching the trailer, like, wait, what is James Franco and Jonah Hill doing in a serious drama movie?
Yeah.
But when they try to branch out and stuff, Moneyball, Academy Award winning.
Hey, that was a good movie.
Jonah Hill.
Brad
Never
Pitt.
finished it.
That was good.
Baseball.
That was part of.
Did you think about baseball?
That was part of Jonah Hill's
Something
big
about
image change.
Yeah, because he was he lost all of that weight,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, all right, give me the gold.
Yeah.
And he got it. So
Cool. Kiefer Sutherland, the villain in Stand By Me.
that's right. Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland, the villain in a lot of '80s films.
Yeah, Lost
Boys. Or The Boys, Lost Boys,
which I could classify as a coming of age movie too. And I think you could play fairly fast and loose with the term coming of age.
Yeah.
But even without doing it, there's so many that we're just scratching the surface. Like, we haven't even talked about, really anyone's meant for girls, like John Hughes movies, like 16 Candles. A Breakfast Club would be a coming of age one.
I'm sorry, did you say A Breakfast Club?
Oh, I said Breakfast Club.
It's The Breakfast Club.
Okay, then.
Articles. I'll learn them.
Or, even from, different areas, and it's not just, white suburbia.
Yeah.
Like Boys in the Hood is, kind of a flip on the typical coming of age,
more urban.
This is what happens when you get a coming of age movie in, a really bad
part of the city.
Yeah. Right?
We're going based off of what we've watched as kids and growing up and stuff. Of course, there's always going to be films that we try to fill the gap in with different cultures, different worldviews. There's obviously foreign cinema that covers this topic as well.
Right.
So I think that could be...
And there's definitely anime out there, too.
To bring it back around for me. Almost all anime is set in a high school where it's coming of age stuff.
Yeah.
Even the fantastical ones.
Clanad. Very
Don't
sad.
bring up the sad one.
It's so good now.
Sword Art Online. There, I bounced it out.
Fuck off.
Gotcha.
Get out of here.
Coming of age films, though, I mean, you can always, even as adults, you can always learn something from something.
You can. And Stand By Me is a movie where I feel like it really resonates with a younger audience, younger than me, but you get added benefit for the older you get,
Yeah.
because it almost becomes more appropriate. The final line of the movie is I never had any friends like I did when I was 12. Jesus does anyone, and that's such a
that's a good line.
That's a hard hitting line.
Truth. Yeah. Makes me think about all the people that I grew up with and that I don't see anymore.
That's a very
stuff like that.
Introspective.
Yeah.
Film.
Sandlot.
Sandlot,
Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Sandlot.
No.
Great.
I think we've already been over this.
No, Sandlot's great. It's better.
It's fine.
It's got a big old dog.
No, Stand By Me is absolutely the better film.
You got they chew tobacco and their kids get
They
a
both
bunch of little situations.
They both have dogs in them.
Yeah. Yeah. They're actually very similar when it comes to...
One's just 3 hours long.
What, the Sandlot?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. It's not
Yeah,
that
it's
long.
2 hour 40 minutes.
No, I'm looking this up. This is the third look up this episode. Sandlot. Your wife was wrong, by the way. Les Mis is not... Into the Woods is not 3 hours long. It's 2 hours long.
Oh, really? I thought it was 2.5.
Nah. Your wife was wrong. It's not like she's going to listen to this anyway.
She listened to the last one. The one
Only because she
on.
was on it, yeah. Sandlot is 101 minutes. An hour 41.
Oh, wow. Well, it feels
It just
longer.
feels longer because it's slower. Got kids playing baseball. Yeah. I have to pull up my outro. Toss my
I was
phone.
just say, as you're doing that, do you have anything else to add on coming of age?
No, I mean, like I said, coming of age films, you can always learn a lesson even as an adult. There's always something. There's a life lesson that you missed as a kid.
Right.
No matter what kind of life you lived. I never went to parties. I never snuck out of the house.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But of course, I didn't get grounded all
My
the time.
mom would leave for the weekend, and I'd be like, "Hey, are you cool if I have people over for this weekend?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's fine."
That's fine. She didn't expect you to have like drugs, and
which
sex
I
and
didn't.
all that. Yeah.
What do we do? I played video games all night. I stayed up till 3:00.
You were a good little boy. We were all good little boys. Unfortunately, we didn't get into rambunctious situations. I kind of wish we did.
How much did we live?
I mean, we played video. We do the same thing that we're doing now, so it's not like much has changed. But don't think of that as a sad thing.
I don't.
People live the lives that they want to live.
I'd much rather stay home and play video games than go to a rager.
People live the lives that they want to live, and that's totally fine. Make decisions that you think is going to make your life as exciting and as happy as it's going to make you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about as good as it can be. Don't make choices that are obviously going to make other people miserable. Don't be a shitty person.
I'll co-sign that.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's as good a point as any.
Yeah.
You know, we're actually doing good on time.
Nice.
Like really good on time.
Nice.
Oh, it's because I almost forgot. Recommended watch.
Oh, I almost forgot it too.
Aha!
Oh no! Now I am the problem.
Now you are the fool. Because I'm definitely... There's going to be a lot cut from this. This one's going to be shorter. Which is good, because our other ones were longer.
Yeah.
What do you recommend, Zach?
I'm going to recommend...
That we haven't mentioned before. Recommend a coming-of-age film.
Okay. Coming of age that we haven't mentioned.
Oh, I should have put the Sandlot in my pocket.
I'll do Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Although that's a bad lesson to learn. You know, just in general.
Yeah, I guess.
Don't fuck with other people's father's car. Don't, break the rules.
But
stay in school.
he learns that.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Oh, yeah. Like, you could say that about any coming of age.
Even if your teacher is a
Stand By
pedophile.
Me, they get to the fucking body, and they're all like, oh, this is not as fun as we thought it was going to be.
Well, yeah, but that's the lesson. That they learn it immediately. Ferris Bueller learns it after the fact. Like, he takes over a whole parade.
Yeah.
Like, he's messing with people's fancy lunches when all he wants... Whatever. Just, if you're going to skip school,
Nick
just...
is not a fan of the Ferris Bueller
I don't
way
like
of
breaking
life.
the rules, all right? I love the rules. They keep everything sane and normal. Chaos is a ladder.
I'll also... Stop it. I'll also say Perks of Being a Wallflower. That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah. I recommend that. Because that's a better, like, more current example to what teens are going through right now, especially too. Shit. I should have been thinking of one while you were saying.
Never heard of that one.
All that stuff. Every single time.
Oh, yes. The movie Shit.
Fine.
Great coming of age.
Twilight.
No.
That's not a coming of age film?
You could probably argue it.
They stop aging.
I'm not going to.
They stop aging. No, you want? Let me tell you the movie that I was going to watch because I heard that it was just garbage and I kind of wanted it as a dumpster fire to put in this podcast. I was going to watch the movie After.
Ha! That's funny that you mentioned that. My wife, bless her soul.
My wife. Go ahead.
Just watched that like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because she read the books and
of course she did.
She got really invested, so she wanted to watch the movie. And apparently the movie is, it's garbage. Not only is it just poorly made, but it is nothing like the books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, I heard the same things that they did a lot of like liberties with it.
Yeah.
Took a lot of liberties with it. That it's like it's a fan fiction of 50 Shades of Grey, which in and of itself is a fan fiction.
It's a fan fiction. I don't remember it being 50 Shades.
Or wasn't it like
it's Harry Styles?
Yeah, it's One Direction fan fiction.
Specifically, the guy in it is supposed to be based off of Harry Styles.
Okay, well, gross. I'm glad I didn't watch it. Good. I saved 2 hours of my life.
Harry Potter, great coming of age movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's some murder in there.
Well,
there's a lot of murder in a lot of these coming of age films. Now that I think about it, Harry Potter's a good one. Stop taking
E.T.
Is that really a coming of age film?
Yeah, you could argue it.
I mean, no, you can't.
Yeah, you can argue anything.
We always argue. Because this is Nicknames Movies, where the cinema love never stops. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube, and rate us if you're listening to our podcast on a podcast service of choice like Spotify or iTunes. And tell your friends. You know, we're cool guys. Let's be cool guys with everyone else.
Yeah, we're cool. You know we're cool because we say we're cool.
Yeah, all the cool people say they're cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next week. What are we doing next week?
I don't know.
We'll talk about this. Take care, guys.
Bye.